Hello everyone, and welcome back to Forza Horizon 3. I am here today with the Mitsubishi Evo 8. Now, last time up our hill climb course, we ran the Subaru Impreza, and I thought it would be a crime if we didn't run an Evo of sorts. There's the great rivalry between Evos and Imprezas, so I figured why not run an Evo up the course and see how it would compare until the Subaru. Now, I'm, again, not really expecting this to go to the top of the table. I'd love it if it did, because I love the Evos, but I'm not expecting it to go to the top of the table. I'm expecting a likely target to be about the Impreza, around there. Now, the car starts as all-wheel drive. It also starts off with a similar PI starting point as what the Impreza did. About mid-B class, so we're going to get about the same amount of upgrade parts on it, I would think. So the stats are probably going to be fairly similar to the Impreza. Now, the Impreza had 460 horsepower and weighed about 2,800 pounds, I believe, something around there. I can't actually remember off the top of my head, but yeah, that's what the Impreza was like. We have many of the front bumpers, but we are going to take the adjustable downforce. I'm assuming we're going to have many of the rear wings as well. Oh, come on. I want the double wing. I want the silly double wing. Oh, come on. Oh. Can I please just have that with adjustable downforce? That just looks so bland compared to that. Come on now. Oh. Well, we're going to have to take it. I doubt the rear bumpers... No. Actually, no, that still adds on weight, so I'm not going to do anything with that. These probably add on weight, yep. And for bonnet, if we can get rally lights... Ooh, we can get rally lights and a snorkel. Ooh, what do we want? Do we want all of the lights? Ooh, choices. I think I'm going to go with this. Mostly because I feel like that might cause some visibility issues. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to go with the lights. You can never have too many lights. Magical weight-saving lights. So, we have tires on the car, 275s all around, same as what the Impreza had. Now, if we do have to swap the engine, which I doubt we're going to, we can only go for the 6.2 liter V8. The Impreza also had that option plus the Turbo Rally. I'm surprised the Turbo Rally doesn't go in this. But I'm sure that the standard engine will be good enough to get us to the top of S1 class, so I will probably stick with that. Again, I am going to swap in a gearbox. That way we have decent gear ratios in the car. I am also going to put in all of the handling parts as always, because a course like this, you're going to want to have as much handling as possible. Sure, some cars can get away without being the greatest handling, but they all have all of the handling parts on them. So yeah, now that's... Ooh. This is more the weight that I wanted the Subaru to be. I want it to be about 2,800 pounds, and I think we might be able to shed off... I don't know if we'll be able to shed off 80 pounds, but we should be able to shed off quite a bit. With adding on some of the power parts like exhaust that also save weight. I'm also seeing that the the Evo starts with more horsepower, I believe, than what the Subaru did, if I'm correct. I think the Subaru was in the 200s, high 200s. So I'm going to go with that weight reduction, just build up the car and see what I can do with it. We are going to take quite a bit of weight with just the exhaust alone. I'm going to shove as much power in the car as I can. We'll upgrade the turbo as well. That will add some weight back in. We'll take some of that out. I'm kind of torn between, do I want to add on power or just take out weight? I think we're going to do a little bit of both, because we still have quite a bit of PI left to play around with for power parts. This is looking quite promising right now. We're up to 550 horsepower. That's 100 more horsepower than what the Subaru had. And we're about the same weight, maybe a little bit heavier. But that little bit of weight isn't going to make that big of a difference when we have this much more horsepower. Now we're kind of at an awkward stage where I don't know if we're going to be able to actually make up this amount of PI. We may have to go for a weight reduction and take out some power, because I don't think we're going to get 5 PI from anything. Unless the oil and cooling might do it. I doubt it. Just went in there, go to the next one. No, they're not going to do it, so I am going to have to put weight reduction in the car. If I could actually get to the right menu. Okay, so then we have to take out 9 PI. So if we do this, I can take the drive line out because that's not going to be that big of a deal. I can probably... what do I take out? That's the question now. I want to kind of take things out that didn't take away weight. This is going to be a tough one to decide what to take out now. Okay, so we only need to take out 1 more horsepower, so I might as well just drop down a flywheel stage. And then see if maybe I can sneak 1 stage of driveline. No. Okay. So 530 horsepower is about 70 more, I believe, than what the Subaru had. 2,600 pounds is, I believe, lighter than what the Subaru was. Now, I don't know what the Subaru's torque was. I don't know, I just tend to always forget about torque. But the Subaru may have been kind of gypped in the PI system looking at it, because these two cars, relatively the same, same tire widths, but the Evo just somehow gets more power and less weighted in the PI system. I'm not sure how to take that, but I still think the Subaru is going to be a decent target for the Evo, maybe even the Capri. I don't think we'll be challenging the Cadillac or the Ram Runner. We could challenge the Mercedes 190E because that is fairly close to the Capri's time. But there's only one way to find out, and that is to take the Evo for its 3 runs up our hill climb course. Okay, we are here to take the Evo for its 3 runs up our hill climb course. I'm kind of torn between this car. I don't know where it's going to go. We are slightly quicker, I think, in a straight line so far than what the Impreza was. I'm feeling like we probably will have the same style of handling. And it's going to be a very similar story. I'm going to talk about basically the same type of things I talked about in the Impreza video, so it's almost going to be like a repeat, except with a different image on the screen. I swear, I didn't copy the audio files over. I didn't do that. But yeah, the Mitsubishi, it shouldn't be too bad up this course. It'll probably suffer from the same problems. Like I said, it will suffer from being kind of slow in a way. It'll be slow through the corners, or not through the corners. What am I talking about? Jeez. It'll be slow on the straights and quick through the corners. Now we saw about 110 miles an hour from the Subaru. We got to 111, so we are very, very, very slightly quicker in the straight line, it seems, than the Subaru, which isn't surprising. We do weigh less and we do have more power. It may not be by a great margin. It's not like we weigh 1,000 pounds less and we have 500 more horsepower or anything crazy like that. We're talking very small margins. We have about 70 more horsepower and we weigh maybe 200 pounds less than what the Subaru did. Now that isn't a lot, but it is going to be a factor in our runs. I didn't get that corner perfect, but it is much better than I have done in the past. It's one of those corners that's very, very difficult to get properly, or get done properly. We weren't right through that corner either, but we are still getting up to 92 miles an hour with a kind of scruffy run there in the corner. Now trying to avoid that ice. The Subaru had no end of problems with that ice. Twice I clipped that ice patch. Hopefully we actually got through there. We're going to go not that bad actually for a first run. We saw the Subaru down in the 206s? 205s? I think it was 206s or low 205s. High. Yeah, high. Low. I don't know. The Subaru went really slow its first run. Let's put it that way. The Mitsubishi, not too bad. It's not an amazing run. It puts it just underneath the Chevy Chevelle, so it will be in 7th place at the moment. And it doesn't have that far to go to beat that Subaru. It has to make up just over a second to beat the Subaru. And I think it's fairly possible. If we get any kind of run like we did with the Subaru on its second run, we could see this going relatively high on the table. Alright, the Evo 8 is here for its second run up the course. Now, I definitely think there is time to be made up. The first run was fairly good, but at the same time, there's always room for improvement. I am actually just recording this video right after I record the Subaru's video, so I don't know how that's going to affect me. Usually, there's about a week or so in between recording sessions, let's say, just for simplicity. And going between cars, you kind of get used to one car after a run. You know, you feel the car out for the first run, and then the second run you have a better feeling of what the car can do, and so on. Whereas running this right after the Subaru is a very, very similar car. It drives very similar to this Mitsubishi. So I'm kind of already in that mindset of I know how much I can push the car to a certain extent. Obviously I'm not going to know exactly how much I can push this car in particular, because every car is going to be different. But I do still have that mindset of I know just about how much I can push this car in certain areas because it's so similar to the Subaru that I just ran. Kind of cut that corner a little bit. That's fine, we still got all the checkpoints. Ooh, I'm out of place here. Now this section here is a section we've seen a lot of cars almost struggle with. It's just the combination of the really tight corners combined with all of the uphill aspects to it. It's just really hard for the cars to actually go through there. I hope I got that checkpoint. I just barely did. But the car slowed down and through this corner. I'm getting really lucky with these checkpoints. Up to 98 miles an hour, that's quicker than the Subaru got. The Subaru's high speed there was 94, and we're actually fairly close to the ghost flags, but I think, yeah, we are going to struggle through these final corners, just getting it turned in and then getting it out the other side. It's going to be on for a quick run. Ooh, it beat the Subaru. Oh, that's a nice time. It moves the Mitsubishi up into 4th place by a 1/10 of a second. Exactly a 1/10. It beats the Ford Capri by. Now, this is kind of where I expected the car to go, looking at the power figures and so on. I kind of expect it to be around the Capri or the Subaru. But we still have one more run left. And traditionally, third runs, yeah, you can go quicker because you should know the car better. The only time I'd say a third run could go disastrously wrong is if you're running something ridiculous like, say, a Fiat Dino that had crazy amounts of horsepower and no control. But with a car as controlled as this, I think we could be on for beating out the Mercedes 190E and going into 3rd place. Now, the story for this third run is going to be don't cock it up. That's basically my thoughts here. The Mitsubishi has the ability to go really, really fast. And by really fast, I mean get into the top 3. As long as I don't push it too hard and cause issues for the car, we have the ability to get into the top 3. Now, that hasn't been something that we've seen in the last few cars that I've run. They've kind of evaded that top 3 a little bit, and they've only evaded it by a tiny margin. And that's what we're kind of seeing here in the Mitsubishi as I run wide through that corner there. It's just that little bit outside of the top 3 now. I don't even think if we had a perfect run we would go quicker than, say, the Ram Runner or even the Cadillac. The Cadillac would be a more achievable goal, but the Ram Runner I think is just a little bit too far out of our reach. We just don't have the acceleration. Give me another 100 horsepower and maybe then we could reach that Ram Runner. but as it stands right now, I don't think that we're going to be able to challenge that, but I am still going to try my damnedest to get as good of a time out of the car as I can, and in doing that, I am pushing the car a little bit too hard. We are much better positioned through this corner this time around. Last time we came up here, we were to the inside quite a bit, and it kind of compromised my line through there. As I say that, we get out wide a little bit. Come on, get turned into this corner. Okay. Wasn't the best turn and I wanted. Oh, we almost clipped the ice. Come on, get control, get control. Around this corner. Get that power down. It's going to be another 96 miles an hour. It's not as quick as last time around. Through there, get turned through these corners. This is where the Subaru struggles. Even though we have 275s, we struggle getting the car turned in, and I don't think, no, we're not going to be on for a quicker run. Unfortunately, it's not going to go quicker. I pushed the car a bit too hard in some spots and made a couple silly mistakes that I probably shouldn't have made. But on the bright side, we have a new 4th place. And I'm happy about that, because I'm not going to lie, and this may anger some people that like Subarus. I like the Evo more. I don't know what it is about it. I mean, I love Imprezas, but if I had the choice between having an Impreza and having a Evo, I would go Evo all the way. I don't know what it is about them, but I just love them. So, the Evo goes into 4th place with a 203.59. Just barely beating out the Capri. Unfortunately for the Capri, it just wasn't quick enough. It couldn't hold on to that 4th place for very long. But the bigger story is, Evos are better than Subarus. No. The Subaru was an amazing car. I feel like it just got cheated out a little bit by the PI system, because we saw how similar those cars are in terms of their speed and tire widths and so on. I was really expecting both of them to get very similar amounts of power and weight out of them, but for whatever reason the Evo just gets more power and less weight in it, which propels it farther up the ladder than the Impreza. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. If you liked it, be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe, and until next time, goodbye.